Good morning again. Welcome to another episode of Visiting Old Hollywood with Mr. V. We are beginning today's episode very early in the morning. I'm just going to get some water. Vending machine down here at the grocery store, but I probably told you before, I live very close to this building, the Villa Carlotta, and I'm going to tell you more about it in a future visit. This building was built in 1826. Once upon a time, I thought that was old here in Hollywood. But the time that I've lived here, I've begun to learn about this neighborhood called Franklin Village and how it grew up out of the oldest things in Hollywood. But today's episode is called Castles, because across the street, take a look at this. This is the Chateau Elysee. Also known as the Manor House. Today, this is the Church of Scientology Celebrity Center. Now, I hope to get inside at some point, but this is a modern day castle still standing here in Hollywood. A little later this morning, I'm gonna go down to the other end of Franklin as it gets a little busier this morning. So, stay with us. You're welcome to come along, as always, on this adventure, visiting Old Hollywood castles. Please don't forget to like this video, give it a thumbs up, comment, subscribe, and share this video if you think it's something that others might enjoy. Now, if you've ever come off the 101 freeway at Vine Street here in Hollywood, you come down this exit ramp here. It's a little early, but it's a little loud as Hollywood starts to heat up. We're gonna head down here to the intersection of Franklin and Argyle. I want to show you some history. Now, the first thing you're going to see as you approach this intersection in your car is this. That is the Hollywood Tower Hotel. The outline might be familiar to you. Some say that it is the basis for the Hollywood Tower of Terror Twilight Zone Hollywood Studios in Disney's parks in Florida. But long before there was a castle here, there was a bigger castle over here. street here and take a little closer look. All right, let's see if we can do this. Now, what you're looking at there is Glengarry Castle. So today, there's an apartment complex behind me. It's a really lovely sight, isn't it? We're gonna run across the street here and get a better angle for a couple of my pictures. This castle was built around the turn of the century by Dr. Alfred Schlosser. Let me get that right. Dr. Alfred Guido Randolph Castles. Now his original name was Schlosser. He was a glandular specialist. Not quite sure what that means. Schlosser changed his name to Castles after World War I, after anti-German sentiment. He was a world traveler. Those who knew the flamboyant doctor described him as small in stature, but long on ambition and self-aggrandizement. Like you can't tell. An art collector. I'm quoting from an LA Times article here, which is available online. The courtly, Viennese-educated physician lived up to both his names by building 2 Hollywood castles, and he made a ton of money in silver mines around the turn of the century. So he built Glengarry Castle. Glengarry was a copy of his wife's ancestral home in Scotland. Here on this corner, Glengarry was too small for Dr. Castles, so he built another one across the street, right there. Now, it's almost impossible to imagine today. This building is undergoing reconstruction. This is the Castle Argyle. Once upon a time, this was the Castle Sanssouci. But what kind of a man builds 2 castles at the bottom of the Cahuenga Pass, at the entrance to Hollywood? Glengarry? And Sanssouci, where he staged musicals and entertained European royalty. Sanssouci was built in 1912 because Glengarry was too small for Dr. Schlosser.
The Gothic Great Hall had a 25-foot-high beamed ceiling, stained glass windows, suits of armor, and an organ loft. 2 marble lions that once guarded the palace of the Venetian Doges stood at the entryway.
Wonder where those lions went. Sanssouci has also been seen on film. Got another picture here, which is where I started, over here under the 101. Take a look. 1914, Tillie's Puncture romance. Remember that one?
really think that this picture would be absolutely impossible to recreate today. You would have to be across the street looking in this direction. And imagine that there used to be a big gate right there. Films featuring Chaplin. This on-ramp were these terraces. You see this little hill going up the side. Maybe you don't, but it's right here. Now you can imagine the castle on the hill, the turret in the background. But it wasn't enough for Dr. Castle. In 1928, he tore down Castle Sans Souci and he built the Castle Argyle, which is now behind me under renovations. And they're actually adding on an addition. Yes, as an investment, the eccentric doctor who always wore a frock coat. What is a frock coat? Heavy makeup and a top hat. Tore down Sans Souci and built Castle Argyle Arms Apartments in 1928, attracting a new breed of royalty, movie makers. Lots of people have lived here at the Argyle, including Clark Gable, a laundry list of stars I could put on the screen. Also Howard Hughes, Ronald Reagan, and Cecil B. DeMille. Unfortunately, Castles died 5 years after construction of the 7-story luxury apartments that still stand, proudly bearing their builder's name. Well, that's it, folks. Let's wrap it up and make it a short visit this time. I hope you enjoyed learning a little bit about Hollywood castles. As always, I hope that you click that thumbs up, like this video. Leave a comment. Tell me what you want to learn about here in Old Hollywood. And please subscribe to my channel for upcoming content. Share this video with your friends who you think might be interested. And as always, bye for now.